Hello! With Thanksgiving right around the corner, I wanted to take this opportunity to pay homage to some of the upland game birds that we have in Wyoming that often find their way onto people's dinner tables at this time of year. Here in Wyoming, we have some species that are native to Wyoming, and we have some that have been introduced for hunting. I hope you can learn some of the history or some of the fun facts about these animals and share it around your Thanksgiving table. Wild turkeys are not native to Wyoming, but they don't mind cold weather. In order to find food, they move from higher elevations in the summer to lower elevations in the winter. In November, they're feasting on any nuts or berries that they can still find and rely heavily on grain from agricultural fields and supplemental feed in the winter. The turkeys in Wyoming were first introduced in 1935 from New Mexico in exchange for some of Wyoming's sage grouse. Today, there are about 15,000 wild turkeys in the state. Ring-necked pheasants were first introduced to the United States from China in 1882, but they didn't come to Wyoming until 1935. Pheasants are the only game bird that Wyoming Game and Fish Department continues to breed and stock for hunters. There are many populations throughout the state that are self-sustaining, but new birds are added to the ecosystem each year. Chukars are a football-sized game bird that was introduced to Wyoming in 1933. They are native to Turkey and Nepal, where there are many rocky outcrops and mountains similar to what we find in Wyoming's basins. These little birds are fun to watch and faster on the ground than you would expect. Climbing rocky ridges is no problem for these tough little birds. Gray partridges, or Hungarian partridges, are similar in size to the chukar. They are considered by some to be the best-tasting game bird in the world, and they are hunted throughout Wyoming. They form coveys or groups in the fall and winter after their breeding season. In the spring, they can lay as many as 22 eggs per clutch. Our native grouse are also hunted here in Wyoming in the fall. Though the grouse look like our common chickens, they are more closely related to turkeys than the chickens. Grouse in Wyoming migrate short distances within the ecosystem in the spring and the fall. Unlike their non-native counterparts, these native birds can find food year-round without relying on crops and supplemental feed from humans. Sage grouse are more abundant in Wyoming than in any other state. They rely on sagebrush year-round for food and cover. Sharp-tailed grouse are found only in the northeast part of Wyoming and the far west. In the spring, they display on leks like the sage grouse. In the fall, they will gather in flocks and search for berries, plants, and seeds. Ruffed grouse have a really neat way to help stay warm in the winter months. They bury themselves in the snow. I have unintentionally gotten too close to a buried grouse, and they burst out of the snow and fly away. It always scares me half to death. Dusky grouse like high elevations, and interestingly, in the winter they will move up the mountains rather than come down to lower elevations. These birds will spend the cold months nestled into conifer trees, feeding on spruce needles. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone!